Okay, so we started our trigonometry yesterday and now we're going to look at using those formulas, and I'm talking about the formulas, the sine, cos and tan. So sometimes it's a bit easier if you write on the top of your page the SOHCAHTOA so we can sort of remember it. Okay, so we're going to use it, and remember this can only be used on right angled triangles, those formulas. And so what we're going to do is use those formulas to solve an unknown side on a triangle. So your first step is to label the triangle. Okay, so what we're going to do is you have a look. First you've got to look where I find to look at the angle, and then we know that the side on the opposite of that is the opposite. So we'll label that O. When we've got the side next to it, we know that's the adjacent. So then what we're going to do is you look up at that SOHCAHTOA, because now we've labelled it, which formula has, or which one of them, sine, cos, or tan, has O and A in the formula? Tan, good. So that's how, so the second step is to decide which formula. So I'll write ratio, but I'm going to say formula so you just know it's the same thing, yeah? So don't get too worked up. All right, so we've labelled it. So we know we're going to use tan. So we're going to write the tan formula out. So tan angle equals, and we know O is on top because O was the first one mentioned. Okay, so our third step there is we've written the formula. Okay, so all these steps need to be done when you're doing it. Okay, so once you've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to substitute in what we know. So we actually know that the angle is 29. And we know that the opposite, they're calling that x, so I'll put x in there, and we know adjacent is 58. So we're going to do that. So our fourth step is we're going to substitute. So when you put in things that, change the label to what it is, that means substitute. So substitute values into formula. Okay? All right, so now once we've got this, what we're going to do from this point on is we always have our graphics calculators. And what they're testing what we're testing is really that you've picked the right formula, yeah? So that's what we're looking for, and then you need to solve it. So what the calculator is going to do is it's going to rearrange this and solve it algebraically. But that's not what you're getting tested on, okay? So we're going to use our solve function from this point on. So at the next step is you're going to pop in the calculator. We'll write solve. And how do we get solve?
Menu 3-1.
Good, menu 3-1. And we're going to type this out, tan 29 equals like this, and we're going to have comma x, okay? So I'm just going to put the fifth step over here is going to be use the calculator, and we're going to end up finding what x equals. So I'm just going to pause it there, and we're going to do it on our calc. Okay, so we got x to equal 32, and we'll box our answer. Okay, so we've now finished that and we've solved what x was equal to. So what I'm looking for and what we're looking for when you write out and you're doing your working out is, so when you're doing the questions in your book, you do have to sketch a little triangle. You must have this and then this, and then you can have your answer written down. Okay, so I'll write a little thing here. This is what is written on the page, yeah? Because we don't need to put the calculator instruction, but we're going to have it there so you know how to do it when you're doing it. All right, so let's go and do this next one. and we won't have to write out, we don't have to write the steps because we've got them there. So let's have a look. So our first step is we're going to label our triangle. So, I've done another 10. Okay, so we've got, what side is that? The number 8 is the opposite. What side is X?
Adjacent.
Good, adjacent. Okay, which rule had O and A? It's tan again, isn't it? So we're going to write that rule, tan equals O over A. Then we're going to write tan 43 equals 8 over X. Okay, we would stop there and we're going to solve it on our calculator and find out what X equals. And all right, so we've got 8.5 and we rounded it to 9. And just put a little box around your answer. In case in an exam you're stuffing everything up and you've decided to change your answer, the examiner looks for the box around it. All right, let's do the last one. All right, let's label our triangle first. So, what side is opposite the 90 degrees? Good. Hypotenuse. And then what side is next to the angle? Adjacent. So if I wrote on the top of my page, Sokotoa, which formula has A and H in it? Cos. Good. So we're going to write out the formula. Cos angle equals A over H. Then we're going to substitute in. So it's cos 58 equals 20 over X. And I'm going to write in the green, but you don't need to do that on your page. We're going to write solve into the calculator. Cos 58 equals 20 over X comma X. And we're going to find out what X is equal to. And we'll go the whole number again because they gave a whole number. Right, so we got X to equal 38.